Hello, movie friends, and welcome to There Will Be Movie Reviews. I am your host, Ryan Holmes, and today with me I have my good buddy, Noah Shigaris. Noah, say hi to everyone.
What's up, everyone? I'm so happy to be back on another There Will Be Movie Reviews podcast.
I know, yeah, no,
Very excited.
it's very exciting. We are back in business. We've been very consistent with the last few weeks, giving out episodes to you. I've been updating my channel a lot, and right now it's pretty much the podcast is just me, Noah, and Cole just talking about movies recently. It's just been only us because I don't have anyone else
Yeah.
to talk to because I'm
Well,
a lonely guy.
you used to get random people,
Not
Well, not random people, but people
random
that you
people to
kind of
you.
knew.
No,
Well,
random
to
people
me, yeah, okay. Well, how
like my
well did you know
family.
that? No, but you had like Akshaff on. I don't know how
Oh,
well you knew that
oh,
guy.
you mean
That was
Arshad?
pretty random, wasn't it?
I knew him pretty well. Like I had talked to him outside of school a little bit, kind of. He really wanted to be on the
Right.
podcast. Anything with
Right.
accent, I
So,
guess, is kind of random.
yeah.
But
Um,
no, yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
never.
you could like just maybe even like people in your film class might want to talk about movies, like
You're right.
friends you
Oh
have.
yeah, that is
You
true.
should,
I could
should.
totally do that. But
Mm-hmm.
right now, all right. So yeah, so today Noah and I are going to be doing something a little bit different, and I'm really excited because we're going to be doing a debate. Not that long ago, we had kind of talked about doing a possible debate, and then I said, you know what, that movie Black Adam is so bad, and Noah goes, what? No, it's not. It's awesome. Then that kind of sparked this debate between us, and we didn't want to debate it just live, and or we didn't want to debate it like without it being recorded, because if we did it recorded, we knew it could be something special, and we have something special for you guys. So Noah, you excited? You like the Black Adam, so like maybe just give like a slight of reason, just one little reason as to why you think it's an okay movie.
Okay, I think that the action is stellar. All right,
There. That's it. That's it. The action
all
is
right.
stellar. That is your reason. I think the action is poo. So that's why we gotta talk about this, because this is gonna be interesting for you guys. But before we get into the debate and the questions and everything about the film, we are gonna start by talking about the synopsis and who it's directed by and what it's about. So Black Adam stars Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Pierce Brosnan, Aldous Hodge, Noah Centineo, Noah Centineo,
Santino.
Centino, Quintessa Swindell. Wow, that's a name. That is a name. All right. And then the plot. So nearly 5,000 years after he was bestowed with the Egyptian gods' almighty powers and imprisoned just as quickly, Black Adam is freed from his earthly tomb, ready to unleash his unique form of justice on the modern world. This is directed by Jean Collet Serra. Never heard of this guy. I have never heard of this director before. I don't know what else he's done, but it obviously seems like as if he's never directed a film before, because this movie is absolutely ridiculous.
All right.
He directed a movie called The Orphan or Orphan. I don't know if heard of that movie.
Never heard of it.
There you go. Probably because it doesn't even exist. It's just a made up film that he needed for his IMDb profile. Um, all right. So let's talk about, before we get into it, sort of the how it did and what was coming up with this film's release. Because do you remember it was a pretty big hype? I feel like the man Dwayne the Rock Johnson hyped this film up way too much. Like this guy, it was crazy how much he hyped this movie up.
Well, Black Adam was something that The Rock had been trying to get made for 15 years, I think. Like he'd been trying to put it together and star in it himself for a really long
Mhm.
time. And so, I don't blame him for trying to hype it up as much as he can, when it came out for when it comes out,
Mhm. Yeah,
and
well, that is what an actor's supposed to do. When they do interviews, they're supposed to promote their films. That's what they
yeah,
do. But it was like he was like saying, if this movie doesn't go right, this movie has to go right. He was like talking about like how this has been a build up to his career. Like his entire life. This is the peak of his career right here, Black Adam. And I don't know if he can't see, like, or what, there's whatever delusion Black or Dwayne the Rock Johnson has. I just there is nothing special about this film. It's nothing, and it shows because the film ended up grossing $397 million at the box office compared to 943 with the film Aquaman. And Aquaman was always known as the joke,
Aquaman made 943 million.
Almost a billion
Wow.
dollars. And Aquaman's known as like the joke superhero. He's like a fish. That's like known. You see it on like Robot Chicken and Family Guy and like The Simpsons. He's made fun of constantly, and somehow he
Hmm.
managed to rack up $1 billion.
Yeah,
And
well, that's impressive.
yeah, and then this film also had a 39% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 6.4 percent out of 10 on IMDb.
Oh my
So
gosh,
not good.
not
That
good.
that is a good starting point for me
Well,
because
I think the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes is like 70 maybe. So
ooh.
70.
But it's been reported that by THR, I'm not sure, the Hollywood Report, that's what it is, that Black Adam's initial budget was set at 190 million. So
Wow.
just think about this: 190 million compared to 400 million. That is not good. The film,
No.
no, it is not good. And then, but that,
Like, can we compare it to something like another like
yeah,
another
here, okay,
movie on like that radar?
okay.
Um,
Well, let's do Aquaman. So
oh, sure, of course.
Aquaman budget. So the Aquaman budget was 160 million. So a film is like deemed successful when it doubles what its box office is doubled what its budget was. So that's
Okay.
when it is deemed successful. So 190 million compared to almost 400 million. It's a little iffy, but it became larger actually because it expected reshoots. So the budget increased to 260 million. So the production's budget also does not include marketing costs of the film too, like trailers and the expenses of that as well.
Wow.
So this movie was a box office bomb. It is. That's what it should be
It
deemed
is,
as.
and it's not like people aren't like going out to see movies. Like Avatar just crossed
Mhm.
$2 billion.
Spider-Man: No Way
Insane.
Home was a huge success.
Yeah, like people were
And
just not interested in Black Adam at all.
mhm. No, you're
So
right, and it's it's pretty pathetic. Considering that the DCEU is really trying to revamp their films that they're going to be releasing and
yes, well,
restart their
I'm
universe.
very excited for what's to come from DC. Like I think that they can make it like James Gunn. Like I'm sure some of you have seen Ryan. You sent me the video of James Gunn talking about the future.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. It's like especially for the Flash. Like I don't know
That
if
that
you
stuff is
saw.
interesting. Yeah, no, it
Mhm.
definitely is interesting, and I definitely, it
Yeah.
obviously caught my attention because, as of right now, I'm not invested at all in the MCU and not a lot of the DCEU, and they're not releasing as nearly as many films and television shows as the MCU is, and that's part of it. But no, it is exciting, I think,
Yeah.
because it's, yeah, and they have it planned out a lot more than MCU did too, which is kind of a little jab
Mhm.
that James Gunn had at the MCU. I don't know if it's a jab, but it's just like something you mentioned. But yeah.
Yeah.
So before yeah, because I think we should continue this conversation maybe at the end of the podcast, but let's just get into this debate and start talking about it. So who wants to go first? You or me?
Okay,
Opening our
I want to talk about the trailer because
the
I remember seeing the trailer for whatever movie that we saw. We saw
Black
some movie
Adam.
and I no. Like we saw a movie and the Black Adam trailer played before
Okay.
and I was just blown away. Like
Okay.
I thought it looked so cool. I was super excited for it. And especially like I've talked about this before, but like seeing a trailer in the movie theater compared to just like watching it on YouTube, a very different experience. And I
Mhm.
saw the second trailer for Black Adam for the first time in theaters, and it just just
Mhm.
just hit me so hard, and I was like, okay, I'm really excited for this.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
And so does this branch into your opening statements of how you perceive the film and how you liked it? So do you want to maybe why don't you give us your opening argument of why you believe this film is good and maybe deserves more credit and recognition for the quality of this film and it yeah.
So I think this film is good and watchable, not because of what makes a movie perfect. There's so much nitpicking that especially you film students can do, um, when it comes down to acting and storytelling
Okay.
and stuff like that. But the reason I think this movie is good is because it's just such raw action. There's like some of the most action I've ever seen in a superhero movie. Almost like half the movie is action,
Okay.
just constantly explosions and fighting. And I loved all of it. It's very good CGI, like a huge budget. I think the CGI was very well, um, and it's just cool. Like this, they had like these levitating speeder bikes. Like that whole chase scene was super cool. Like I think it's cool because I can look at it not as a film, but as an awesome action movie.
Okay.
That's why.
Okay, so that's your opening statement.
Yes.
So I will continue giving my opening argument. So I believe that an action film can be like that. I believe films and action movies, like what you talked about, of what is an action movie, that there's a difference between a film and an action movie. But I think the two can go hand in hand. We see this all the time, and I also think that a film like Star Wars Return or Revenge of the Sith is a good example of a film that is just full of action, but includes emotion, and you're able to connect with the characters and cheer them on in battle when they're in a
Mm,
fight. What?
well,
No, 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 no.
it's just
I'll
Revenge
I'll
of the Sith.
I'll I'll
You
I'll talk. I'll
okay?
continue. So
Okay.
but with Black Adam, you do not get any of that. There is no, you do not feel or appreciate any of the characters. This is probably one of the biggest realizations for me of how terrible of an actor Dwayne Johnson really is. I have never seen such a bland and boring performance. And if you want me to get me invested into a film that is that is full of action like this film and over amounts of CGI, then you need to you need to create a good solid story where this story is the most bland story in that I've seen many though, because they're of recent times, a lot of these MCU films and DC films, their stories are not extremely original and base a lot of their focus and what and their yeah, a lot of their focus and their what they want audience to appreciate is the action and adventure and the CGI involved in the film. The dialogue is bland. There's nothing to appreciate about the uh, about the style of the film, because I think that it all recently, just a lot of these movies are just based on action films. And if you want to make a good action film, and I know you like a good action film, though, I know you do. And I know that when you want to see a good action film, and I know that you appreciate a good character as well. I've seen you watch a movie and get upset when a character dies. You've literally said out loud, "No!" And wouldn't isn't that much more enjoyable for a film than to just sit and watch action as it flutters your eyes and just makes your eyes hurt because there's tons of explosions and crazy CGI? I think it's so important to just have a valuable plot and a valuable characters for to make a good film, and especially for an action film, because they don't focus on that enough, I think. So, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I was gonna say that Revenge of the Sith isn't a really good thing to compare it to because, with Revenge of the Sith, you get two previous movies
Okay.
where you get to build emotion. With Black Adam, you just kind of jump into it. But with Black Adam, like, I'm not really disagreeing with anything that you say. Like, I don't think it's a perfect movie. I just think that I can look past all of the like all of the not
Hmm.
so great stuff. Like I know, like you're talking about like very generic superhero movies. Like for a good example, is Iron Man 1. And who's the main bad guy in Iron Man 1 at the end is the Ironmonger, which is, just
Hmm.
a bad guy version of an Iron Man suit.
Yeah.
You know, we see that again in The Incredible Hulk, another MCU movie where the end bad guy is just a pretty much a version of the Hulk, just bad.
Both Venoms are the exact same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so many movies are like that, and it's just a very generic superhero movie. And in Black Adam, the main bad guy at the very end is like the Satan devil version of, the champion, which is like, Shazam and Black Adam. And that's
Yeah.
all it was.
But that's the thing when you come up with these like when you have a plot as like or a character like Black Adam, it's hard to create a character or a story that has a like if since Black Adam is a villain and he kind of has debatable morals within the film, it's hard to come up with a villain in the film that's going to be even bad and worse than he is, I guess, and then even more interesting because again, this is another it's a fantasy film, so it's impossible for us to relate to him because they're both gods. They're both like some supernatural characters. So I understand why it's like they don't just choose to make a relatable villain or a villain that you can kind of debate with and like see you can kind of see both sides because nobody can nobody in the film can because they're not even human, they're mortals, so or they're immortal, so
Yeah.
yeah, that's the thing, the problem with these films like Black Adam and like Venom is because when you it's so hard to make a film about a villain, and when you have this type of style of film and make it about a villain and then try and make a better villain to that it has to fight with, and it's I think it's just not a good idea to make these types of films like villain films. I don't know, like
Morbius.
yeah, like Morbius
More
is another example of a film that's a villain film. It's like it's about an anti-hero
Yeah,
villain
yeah. Wait, can we think of all of them? So there's Iron Man, Incredible
where the
Hulk,
villain is facing where
where the
the
villain is basically just the same as the good guy, but just evil.
yeah,
You know,
okay.
so
I,
both Venom movies, because in the first Venom it's the symbiote, and another one it's Carnage,
yep.
Morbius, Black Adam. Um,
Iron Man. Okay, Iron Man 1, The Incredible Hulk.
yeah,
Um, not
mm,
Thor. Not Captain America. Captain America is debatable because he also takes the super soldier serum.
yeah. Red Skull's kinda
He's the same, yeah, like they take it's like it is kind of the same because in that they both take the super soldier
mhm,
serum, but their morals change completely. Good becomes better or whatever he says, and then bad becomes even badder, like something like
right,
that.
right.
So you can see the contrast, the parallels between those two.
Yeah.
Even is there any
There's
Spider-Man? Spider-Man
no,
one,
not really.
two, three. I guess Spider-Man and
Other than Venom, because Venom is kind of just, but Venom's its own thing.
mhm,
Spider Man is just such a good character. Like,
mhm. He
um,
is. But yeah,
yeah,
back
yeah.
onto on Black Adam. I got some questions that I want to ask you.
Okay.
So how does this film hold up in the ranking? So you say this is a good film, and but I want to get your sort of placement of this film on your scales of MCU and DCEU films. So how does this film hold up in the rankings of the superhero films that you appreciate?
Hmm. Well, there's the really good movies that I love that are on the highest end. There's Captain America, The Winter Soldier, Avengers Infinity War, Iron
Mhm.
Man. Um, and then there's kind of the crappier movies like Captain Marvel, Wonder Woman 2. Like just ones that, and those are both women movies, nothing to do with it.
Let me guess. You're gonna also say Black Panther and Black Panther Wakanda Forever
No,
is
no, okay, well, Black Panther Wakanda Forever was not amazing. IMO.
yeah,
I
racist.
think like if I had to choose between watching Black Panther and Black Adam, I'd choose Black Adam.
Yeah, because
Wakanda Forever, that is. The
yeah,
first Black Panther is so good. I love that one.
sorry.
But like honestly, like this, it's just I think Black Adam is on the lower end of the middle,
Okay.
and that's still watchable. There's
There's so
like
many now for me that are just at the bottom. Like I've just like placed at the because like don't you agree that like Black Adam just looks the same as like almost any other it like the like try just think of this. Think of the Dark Knight. Think of just like the way the cinematography and just like the way the camera moves and think of Black Adam and how just weird and different the films look. Black Adam just looks like it looks like Wonder Woman. It looks like a film. It just looks like a film from the DCEU. And I had complimented the DCEU because it had individualized the films before, but now I just look at them and they just the movies are so bland and look all the same. Like doesn't that annoy you?
uh,
Like it just gets tiring.
yeah, it had such a strong start with Man of Steel in
Yeah,
2013.
because that does not look
That
like.
No, and that was a good movie. That was a I haven't seen it in a while, but I'd love to watch it again.
Yeah.
But like I really liked Wonder Woman, the first one. How did you like the first Wonder Woman?
I haven't even seen it.
You haven't seen the first Wonder Woman.
No, I won't.
Oh, no, man. Have you seen
No,
the
I'm
second
kidding.
Wonder Woman?
No shot. No, I have not.
Wait, you're kidding about not seeing the first one?
No, I haven't seen the first one. I haven't.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well, you
no.
got to see it because it honestly has one of the best scenes in a superhero movie.
Okay.
Anyways, back to the point. Wonder Woman 2 was so bad. And I totally get what you're saying about how Black Adam just looks like all these other movies. And it totally nothing special, but once again, it's the cinematography, that I can look past and just look at it as a fun action adventure superhero movie, and that's what I like. That's what I like about it. Hawkman, Doctor Fate, Swirl Girl, and Ant-Man,
But
not
yeah,
Ant-Man.
Adam Smasher. Yeah, but like, doesn't the like what do you think of their performances though? Like, what do you think of the performances? Because we again time and time we have seen the performances of the actors create the film because and create the MCU. Like I can't think of one character in the DCEU where their acting or like just their characterization of that superhero has just been like, damn, they did a great job at like being that, like like Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark is like one of the best. He's a great example because he literally is Tony Stark. Like he acts like him and he's perfect for that role. The characterization. You look at even Chris Evans. Chris Evans is just like Mr. America in real life. He's just like this white ass dude that can perfectly play. Uh, Chris Hemsworth is almost godly. Like, look at him, sexiest man alive, People magazines. Like those characters just fit those roles. Scarlett Johansson, oh my god, like perfect for Black Widow. Whereas
Yeah.
now you can't look at those characters and be like, damn, that person is Adam Smasher. I fuck with that Adam Smasher.
Yeah, that's true. I think that you probably know his name, the guy that played Dr. Fate.
Here's Brosnan.
I think he did a very good performance. He was very like when every scene that he was in was able to keep you like very captivated into like whatever he was talking about. I think he was very interesting.
I guess, yeah.
I could look past Hawkman. Didn't really think he was that cool. And then I feel like Atom Smasher and Swirl Girl, they were just mess side characters to just kind of like almost to like
To waste
reel
time.
you in.
Waste time. Yeah.
Waste time.
Yeah. Like Do you think they have trouble just coming up with the original, because these characters have been done before too, kind of like that Atom Smasher kind of quirky, awkward kid. Like it's almost like he doesn't even know his character though, because he's like, is he an awkward kid? Is he like a kind of a cocky guy, or is
Or
he
is he a
like,
confident,
yeah,
like
exactly.
yeah, pull the team together type of guy?
I
And there's
know.
yeah, it's kind of hard for him to choose, for the writers to choose who he is,
Exactly. And
Um,
that's like, it's just like we don't know this character. Whereas like Tom Holland as Spider-Man is defined. And I'm not a big fan of Tom Holland as Spider-Man. I don't think he's
really.
I don't think he's that great of an actor, but like no, I'm
Do you
not
think
the big
Andrew Garfield's better?
yeah, oh totally. And Tobey Maguire. But Tobey Maguire is just because it's fucking Tobey Maguire. He's like he makes his character, yeah. Well, I'm getting off track, but like it's totally like Dwayne is like there's he didn't think about his character at all. He just went into it like almost as like he's being a body double. Like he's not even like he's just in there for the action. There's nothing, no facial expressions. There's no like comedic aspect of his character. He
Yeah,
can't do the
it's his
face.
face the whole time.
Yeah.
Talks in a very monotone voice, like
What
I don't. Well, I do. I
what's
do
the
kill people.
what's the what's the line that he says that's like it's like the cringy ass line in the movie. Do you remember it?
Uh, I don't know, but it's
Well, I
well,
do.
the yeah, the one where I was thinking, he goes, heroes don't kill people, and
Oh
he
yeah.
goes, well, I do.
Yeah.
And
I
this,
don't know. It's
mm,
it's tough, man. It's like it's so hard to try and I don't know. Why do you think like I've matured, not matured. I don't want to insult you, but like why do you think I have like, you know, stopped appreciating these Marvel films and DC films, but you still appreciate it? Like what do you think that is?
I don't know. I don't know. Well, I was kind of thinking, like we just did the Daredevil one,
Hmm.
and you and me can both agree that that is a bad movie.
Hmm.
I could not watch that again. But with Black Adam, there's just not anything so terrible that just draws me away from it.
Yeah.
It's just I think for you it's just that there's nothing that's so good about it. And for me it's just big explosion and cool superhero that
Yeah.
draws me into it.
Well, it's not that it's like it's there's nothing good about it. Well, there is nothing like good about it. It's also just like it's a film that doesn't have like a what's the word? I guess like it's also just a bad film in general that makes you not want to watch it again. Personally, for me, whereas like I think I am a person who is picky when it comes to films. Like I don't want to watch a bad. I would never go out of my way to be like, yeah, I know this is probably going to be a bad movie, but you know what? I'll watch it. I won't do that. Like that's just. I'd rather sit down and watch a film that is known for being a good movie than watch a mid movie, because to me a mid movie is just as bad as a movie that is horrible in every way. Is like the same as like watching some Hallmark like love romantic film, that has a horrible actors, horrible budget. It's like, I'd feel the same of watching that than I would watching like Black Adam. That's the thing. Whereas like you can watch those. You can easily watch like a kind of a very mid movie, but like have one thing aspect that you like about it and you'll appreciate that. Right?
Yeah,
Like,
no, well, I'm very good at looking at the positive things opposed to looking at the negative things.
oh, you say,
When you maybe you watch a movie and you're like, I don't know, that
but
was kind of
that's
a weird cinematography, some weird cinematography. I think this movie is terrible.
all right. Well, that's not all the time. I mean, I got to think of a film that I like. I like. I like Space Jam. Like Space Jam is not a
I like
like
Space
the
Jam,
original one. The original one. It's not
not
like
the new one.
insane and no, that's a movie that's just bad. Like LeBron is just horrible. The film like leads up to nothing. Like it's just it was just everyone knew. Like it was like you can look past a bunch of the aspects of the original Space Jam, but with this Space Jam, whew, it was rough, man.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. So okay, do you have any more questions
Yeah, I do.
prepared?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's
Yeah.
hear
I
'em.
got a couple. So, um,
Also, since we only got 5 minutes left.
yeah. That well, we can just run it back again after.
Okay.
It'll save. Uh, does this film have the best action sequences? So yeah, you talk about how the action sequences are great. So how does the action sequences hold up compared to other of your favorite films and their action sequences?
Okay, well, it's definitely not the best at all. But it has some good scenes. I I especially liked the one the slow-mo scene. There's a lot of slow-mo scenes, but the first one where he just erupts out of the mountain and it just goes super slow-mo and like all the rockets are shooting at him and you can see all the bullets.
Mm-hmm.
And I love to see that because like I died for that in X-Men when X-Men Days of Future Past and X-Men Apocalypse. Like those are my favorite scenes with Quicksilver in
Yep.
slow motion.
Those are cool scenes. Yeah,
And
totally.
that's a sense. It's pretty much what Black Adam just would try to do, um, or not try and
Mm-hmm.
copy, but just show like slow motion. And I thought it was really cool,
Mm-hmm.
and just like a very good display of his powers and how fast he is. And I just thought it was cool. It's just cool, man.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Um,
Okay.
yeah. But you know what? Like any Spider-Man movie, any like Avengers movie, it just has just like the action has more weight to it.
Well,
In this
yeah.
movie, in Black Adam, like it's just kind of like it's almost like there's explosions just for there to be explosions.
Oh,
When in
totally.
mhm,
Oh,
when
yeah.
in a
Well,
Spider-Man movie, an explosion
Peter
means
Parker's got
something's
to
going down.
Peter Parker's got to save a train full of people from falling off the train tracks into the ocean, like or yeah, into the water. Whereas
Yeah.
in Black Adam, he's just like grabbing, like in this case, he's not trying to save people. He's just trying to he's trying to just kill people that like he are in his way that are in his yeah, and so that's the thing, man. Like it's so hard for me not to compare because that's what I do is like that's what I'm always doing when I'm watching a movie like this. I'm constantly comparing it to another film or superhero film that I like. So I don't know
Yeah.
what's a super like when I think of a superhero film that I can just appreciate no matter what, and will look at it and like always love it is like Spider-Man
Spider-Man
2.
2.
Yeah,
Spider-Man 2, man.
greatest
Right? Yeah.
because I thought of that scene of him doing that, and I'm like,
Right. I know.
it's the greatest superhero film of all time. It from start to finish. The opening scenes of the opening credits are just that style, man. That's like something you don't see in like
Yeah.
any movies anymore. You don't see that cool opening sequence, and then the final scene is of MJ looking out at the window, looking at Peter Parker, and then but her face slowly, she's smiling and happy, but it's down because she realizes, I'm gonna have to, I guess, live with him as being Spider-Man and living in his shadow. And that's context for the
Mm,
third film. You don't
yeah.
see that in Black Adam. You don't see that type of that beautiful symbolism in Black Adam. There's nothing to it. That's why those movies are good. That's why they're appreciated and people will like them and want to watch them again,
It's
like
why
myself.
it's why you'll remember them.
Yes,
I cannot
totally.
remember what the first scene of Black Adam was or the last scene. Oh, I
Uh,
remember the last scene, the post-credit
what is
scene.
it? Oh yeah, yeah. Let's talk about
Superman. Superman!
the.
I freaked out, man.
You did.
We're going for less than 1 minute.
All right, don't worry. Yeah. So yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah.
So
One of the best parts of the movie, by the way.
mhm. What's do you can you compare this film to any other film?
Uh,
superhero film?
I think I can compare it to the first Shazam because they're essentially they're almost the same character. The same powers, the same thing.
All
Obviously
right.
Shazam's like his own thing.
All right.
All
So
right.
I got one more question for you. So,
Okay.
did you expect to feel a certain way with this film? And if so, did your expectations uh actually feel and actual feelings match up?
So I had high expectations for this movie going into it. I thought that it was just gonna be like a really well-made superhero movie.
You did?
Yeah,
You thought it was going to be a well-made
I
superhero
thought it was
movie?
gonna be like a really good superhero movie. I went into it with high hopes. And I kind of like got what I was looking for only because every time there was an explosion on the screen, I was like,
What?
oh,
Okay, why do you appreciate explosions so much? Like, why do you appreciate that? Like,
because it's so cool. Like
why
an
is it so cool?
explosion.
Why is it
It's
so
so
cool?
cool because it's just such a like a general thing that you won't see in real life almost ever. And when you see it in a movie, you can feel the sound waves hitting you.
How can you feel the sound waves hitting you?
Well, it's because the sound is so loud. You can feel them, and you can watch it on the screen. You can lights up your eyes red. And it's almost like the real thing. Um, and then you combine that with Black Adam
But
using
if it
his
was the
lightning
real
powers,
thing,
and
but if it was the real thing, wouldn't that hurt you possibly? Or like if it was the real thing, you would probably not feel the exact same way.
well, I don't know. Like if I had a grenade and I like got to play with it, and I threw it in like a baseball. I whipped it high up into the air and it exploded. I would be in awe,
Yes.
probably. But just
Why would
like
you be in awe?
because it's an explosion, man. Like,
Why are you
boom.
so why do you think why do you like these explosions and action sequences so
Because
much?
it's like it's destructive. There's so much power behind it.
Okay.
Like, it could do so much
What is that power? What is that power? Why does that power attract you?
power because it's destructive. It can blow things up.
What is fascinating about the stuff being blown up and
Well,
destructive?
because it's like it'll blow it up and it'll destroy it. I don't know, man. You have me on the spot
I'm,
here.
d- I'm just playing the devil's advocate. I'm just trying to get down to
Yeah,
the realness of it and
I
what you really
I
appreciate. I
I
know,
don't know what it is there. It's just kind of like a child,
you
like
know what it
you don't
is.
you don't like it for a reason.
It's
You like it
because
because it is.
it's because you've never experienced it's something you've never had that experience of being around a superhero in your entire life. So when a film is immersive to you, like say Black Adam, it's enjoyable because you get a sense of what that feeling is as the observer. That
Mm,
feeling, it's called voyeurism, when you have a sense of power as the viewer because you are the viewer in this situation, and you don't have to deal with what the characters are dealing with, and you just look down almost as like a god you're in the
hmm
perspective as god.
hmm
So that is why you appreciate it so much, and that's why
All
you
right.
love those scenes so much. That's what I think.
Did you learn that in a class at film school, or did you just know that?
I just learned that from a class in film
All
school,
right.
but yeah, little film knowledge coming into play. But that's just one thing. But I also like I I noticed that before. It's like in my subconscious. Like I understand.
Yeah.
I knew that. It's just that I learned the term. But
So do you
yeah,
think that like people within the Marvel universe, because they have superheroes in real life, maybe they can't appreciate the DC movies because, it's been confirmed that like Superman and Batman and
uh,
like the DC
no,
exists in
because
the
no,
MCU.
not oh, because if you were a character, no, totally not. Because no, think of this. You're in
Yeah.
New York City.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere, you see Spider-Man flinging webs. Green Goblin is out front throwing fucking pumpkin bombs, not hitting you, but maybe destroying a piece of a building with nobody injured, and he's fighting him. If you saw that in real life, felt the wind and rush and heat of his glider, and then you
Yeah.
hear the sounds of the crashes of glass and the sounds of the webs hitting the towers and these giant
Oh,
buildings,
that's crazy.
compared to in a
Yeah. And
film
then
where
you
you
go
can't
watch
have
and you go
those
watch Batman
senses.
versus Superman in theaters.
What do you think? What
And
do you
you're
think your
like,
answer is? What would you rather?
I'm thinking if I just saw IRL, the Green Goblin and Spider-Man, I'd be like, wow, like this ain't shit.
I
That's what
know.
I'd say.
Yeah. And that's another reason why like Spider-Man is so relatable. Like it's such a not relatable, but Spider-Man is such a
Spider-Man. We should just have a Spider-Man podcast
just talking
where
about
we just
Spider-Man.
talk about Spider-Man. Yeah,
But
like our
like
like not just a movie, but just the character.
But like, think of that though, Noah. That's what's so good because when we're looking up and seeing Spider-Man, we have that relatability as the audience because we've had that. We kind of have that sense. If we were in their shoes, that's what we would be doing, looking up in awe because we're looking up in awe of this this great superhero fighting a villain, and it's incredible, and that's why it's so good. Whereas in cinematography, honestly, in Black Adam, is us looking down at him or eye level. And that's where we can't appreciate it because we're not eye level with Black Adam. We're not at the same level as him. And that's why it's artificial. It's an artificial kind of feeling. Getting deep, but yeah, it's
Yeah, yeah,
not a good film. Not a good film.
not a good
And
film.
and yes, I win.
I think you win, but nothing will change my, explosions and lightning out of hands and
Yeah.
like it's just a very childlike joy that comes from a generic superhero movie.
Yeah.
But what's the difference? Like the difference between Black Adam and Daredevil 2003 is that there's nothing cool in Daredevil
No,
2003.
there's not. There's Daredevil. Maybe Daredevil. They just did Daredevil wrong. Like they didn't. I don't think they knew enough about his character, or they didn't know, how to create a character. Ben Affleck also. I don't think he did a great job either as Daredevil.
No.
They didn't have a good script and dialogue to work with.
Right,
Either.
so
There's
just
so many problems with that.
Yeah, but you do you like Black Adam more than you like Daredevil 2003?
I only like Daredevil 2003 for the nostalgic aspect of Daredevil.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
I remember seeing Daredevil when I was a little kid and like loved it.
Okay.
So that's the reason. And I think, yeah, that's the only reason. Yeah.
All right, but
Totally.
yeah, I just
Yeah.
it's a fine. I think there's much better movies. I think Black Adam could have been better made, but I think that they put a lot of their time into the CGI explosion action scenes,
You're absolutely right.
and for that, it's cool.
All right.
Maybe not. Okay, maybe not good. Maybe not good, but cool for me.
To be
what
continued.
I
We will
say.
do a part 2 of Black Adam debate next episode.
Yeah, with
Another
Cole,
hour.
right?
No, I'm not doing another debate on Black Adam.
Oh,
There-
okay.
No shot.
I thought maybe you wanted to like do a little thing with Cole after because he was supposed to join us.
Yeah, he was. He
But
was.
whatever.
Guys. I know you guys love Cole. But I was gonna say, yeah. Is there anything else you would like to add?
Yeah, I'd like to talk about the post-credit scene with
Okay.
Superman.
Okay. Quickly speak on the post-credit scene. Yeah.
It was so cool, man. Amanda Waller from Peacemaker was like, "We're gonna bring in an alien," and then Black Adam's like, "Send them all," and then it's like Superman, and then it's like, no way, they're bringing back Henry Cavill as Superman. That's the best thing that they could possibly do.
Nope.
But unfortunately
sucks,
not.
bro. I can't believe they did that. They just decided it out of nowhere, I guess. Like they're just like, actually, never.
Yeah,
mind.
it was definitely Dwayne Johnson was like, "Come on." It was like Dwayne Johnson peer pressuring the producers to be like, let's bring back Henry Cavill.
No, you know
And
what the
then
thing is? He is a producer. Dwayne Johnson is a producer on the film, so he gets a
oh
lot of the
he gets a
say.
lot of the say, right?
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
So yeah, unfortunately we won't get to see Henry Cavill back as Superman
Yeah.
for now. I mean, things could change.
Hmm.
We got the 2025 is our next Superman movie.
Yeah.
So we'll see. And also, what do I want to say? Yeah, I really like Dr. Fate. Like who like did you like it all? Like the other like the Justice Society characters?
Uh, no, no, they're okay. I appreciate it because I knew the characters beforehand. Like I've been a fan of DC, like, and I know the
Right.
characters and stuff like that. So Doctor Fate is a pretty dope character. Like, in general, he's a cool create like comic book character. So
Yeah.
I appreciated that. But yeah, that's it,
Yeah.
man. Yeah.
I thought Hawkman was kind of cool. Like but like, did not care for Atom Smasher or Twirl Twister.
Well, it just shows that Dwayne Johnson can't handle a superhero movie by himself, or like a movie without
Right, like they
including,
needed to bring in all of these like
because they knew it would help with money for sure. It'd totally help with
yeah,
money, but
because obviously banking off of like the Avengers, like if you have like 20 different superheroes, more money. But like think back to the first Avengers movie, like we had to have all these movies beforehand just to bring them together.
that's why that
And
movie's
then
better too, because
yeah.
but yeah, totally just comparing, but yeah. All right, well, that's it. What episode do you think we should do next week or next week? What do you think?
I don't know,
What
man. I mean,
discussion can
we
be?
we could think about doing a four-way with me, you, Jason, and Cole next weekend.
All right,
Or,
sounds good.
yeah. Yeah, something that we all enjoy, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe an Office part two.
No, oh my God.
Come on, okay. Well, now with me and you, we're pretty experienced. With me, we're in you, like our chemistry,
Yeah.
pretty good podcast
Mhm.
goers.
Yeah, and we'll just yeah, we'll have to see. I'll just ask all the questions to Jason. I'll just ask him only the questions and just see how.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
honestly, no, it's good. Like I
Okay.
don't know. It was okay. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
okay. But yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you so
Okay.
much for sticking with us and listening to us gabber on about Black Adam and me go off on rampage about Spider-Man
Yeah.
and the MCU. But yeah, no, I
And
think
me saying how explosions are cool,
I think
and therefore it is a good movie.
I think I'm gonna go watch Spider-Man 2 after this, and it's on Netflix, so I'm
right.
gonna go check it out. But yeah. All right, guys, thanks so much. Make sure to subscribe. Check out the channel, RJDH Productions. You got tons of stuff. Ted and Ted 3 is soon to be coming out.
It's coming.
Noah Jason.
Although we've got a couple little projects coming out sooner before
next
then.
weekend we got another project. I'll give you a hint. There you go. That's your hint. So that's a hint of
I didn't hear it. Man, the microphone's bleeping it out. No noise when it comes with that. No, we can't see anything. The microphone filters out fart noises.
Really? All right.
Yeah, really.
That's hilarious. Okay. All right. Well, cool, guys. All right. Thanks so much. We'll see you guys
Bye.
next weekend.